Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in.
Coach, these folks in the Circle City, they love their Colts, and they have packed the house tonight as we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Indianapolis Colts. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading them out will be Deshaun Kaiser, the former second-round pick in the 2017 NFL Draft at quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
First carry now for the Memphis man, Darrell Henderson. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And that's complete to Cooks. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Brandon Cooks. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to order. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The kick return touchdown goes for 97 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score a point,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jabal Sheard. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On the draw, this is Henderson. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, Kaiser. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Luck, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. A shotgun snap for Love. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. He's at the 40. 20. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 77 yards. And the Colts have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Gets fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy. And that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a back. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Love. Campbell making the catch. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5. They hand off to their big tight end. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Looking to run with Mack. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Kaiser now. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Kaiser. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. After one, 17-7 the score on EA Sports. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at the 33. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Check out. 180. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Sean Davis that time on the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the...
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Second down, it's Henderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now, 3rd and long. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Fielded just inside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Now a first down throw. Locke. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A very solid gain of 27.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll run here with Mack. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in. And now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at them.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. The kick by Joseph is good. and that will swell the lead to 16. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. They'll throw here, Kaiser. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying,
blitz coming, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone, his 2nd sack of the night.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So we reach halftime. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on.
And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play that time for the Colts. 56 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. Marlon Mack, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They'd love to hold on to that, but first things first, they want to clinch that. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, it's Kelly, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Kaiser, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he fields it cleanly. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Love. Catch made here by Campbell. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jakeem Grant, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and sit things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. On the run, it's Kelly. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. John Kelly hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This will be taken in at the 1.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Rolling to his right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Grant. Touchdown, Indianapolis! Jakeem Grant with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. DeShone Kizer making his way out to the huddle. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Kizer. Kizer hit, and he lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Carl Nassib drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. DeShone Kizer making his way out to the huddle. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone able to record his 5th sack of the season. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd and 15 now. Kaiser. And this is caught by Evans. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18. Kaiser now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
On 2nd down now, it's Mack, and he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Running on first down with Ware. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Now Luck defers to Mack. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw, Luck. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other.
There he goes, right side. line. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his second touchdown on the season. And it's for pride now, but the Rams do get a bit closer.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Colts on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Love. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Not today, you are. Not today.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a carry for Mack. Oh, and Mack has the ball stripped. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were. And so possession will remain with Indy.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Colts, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Rams, it's a
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressed in all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation, don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life.